What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on an A45 AMG. We're going to be replacing the factory screen with an Android screen. It's a 10-inch screen that has Android operating system, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto built in. We'll go through all that stuff later. We actually did a very similar install in an Audi S5 video in the top right hand corner now. The screen for the Audi is already on the website. The screen for the AMG will be on the website when this video goes live. So watch the video. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below and let's jump right into it. Alright, so in the box we have the screen itself. Okay, it's much nicer, much bigger than the factory screen. Looks like it just uses the factory mounting points in the car, so that's going to be pretty straightforward for install. Okay, so we can see here we have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto built in, and it shows you here that it suits the A-Class NTG 4.5, 4.7 systems, and obviously if you're running NTG 4 or 5, then it'll be another screen. So we've also got micro SD input here, so you can put a card there, and you can also put a SIM card in it as well for 4G. And then you've got GPS and Wi-Fi antenna here, so that could do wireless CarPlay. Okay, so wiring, pretty straightforward. It's pretty much plug and play here. We've got a few sort of things coming off that audio input there. There's a speaker, so there's a few things that we'll go through together and we'll look at. But most of this stuff you probably won't need unless you obviously want to use it. For example, rear camera input, but this car has factory camera. Okay, here we've got USB, a couple USB inputs there, screen connection, microphone input. Okay, there's a few things there we'll look at. This will come in the kit. That's for if the car has, it's called AMI here, but that's Audi's version, I guess Mercedes version of AMI. Sometimes you just need to have that plugged in just so you can listen to AUX. Antennas, we've got our GPS and Wi-Fi antennas right there. And then an audio extension cable, which we may or may not need. And that's pretty much it. So right at the top of the screen there's two screws, 1, 2. They're a Torx 15, I believe, or a Torx 20. So if you have a Torx bit set, you can remove them, and then that screen will just pop up and out, which I'll show you. And for the vents, okay, something like this is perfect for the vents. So basically it's just got a little hook on it. Okay, so right here you can see that tool has a little hook on it right there, and you can use that, pop that hook behind a thick part of the vent behind it, and then you can pull it straight out. Okay, just like that. Once they're out, what that will expose for you is 1, 2 T20 screws, and once they're undone, you can pop the radio out. So once you've removed those 2 T20s, the exact things that were holding them in, you can see I'm just using my fingers here, you can pull them back, and that will just sort of pop the radio out. And then you can start unplugging things. So what I've noticed here with the screen is, 1, this big boy does use the factory position. Okay, nice and easy. And 2, you've got 2 holes here and 2 plugs here. So what you need to note is that you route your plugs the right way so that there's nothing running across here. Okay, so for example, you've got the bigger plug right here on the right hand side, so the bigger plug needs to come out of that side, of that hole rather, okay, and the smaller one on that side, and then same as your antennas. Here we've got the smaller plug, so that's going to go here, same side as the LVDS connection, which is just going to plug right into the screen plug like so. Boom. Okay, 2, there's some LVDS power plugs here, which I don't think we're going to need. Microphone we're not going to need. And then you've got 2 USBs, and you can run them wherever you want. So what we can do, we can tape this stuff up. Alright, so what we've done here is basically about 10 seconds ago, that was just like that. This piece here just unclips. Okay, there's 2 clips right there, just be careful with them. And that will give you a little bit more access here. And the USBs are fairly short, so there's not a lot of length on them to run. So if you don't have extensions like I do, what you're going to need to do is remove the glove box, and then you can run them from here directly to the glove box and have them in the glove box. If you've got extensions, you can run them wherever you want, or you could even just have them dangling out from the dash there if you wanted to. Obviously we're not going to do that, but that's just for you DIY guys. So yeah, let's look at removing the glove box. Alright, that's one part of the screen done. So we've got these here now, they're ready to just pop into the glove box. You can tape them up. Guys, also while you've got the glove box out and you have a lot of access sort of up into this area, mount your Wi-Fi antenna and your GPS antenna. Okay, so I'll do that in a minute. First, we're going to have a look at our main powers. Okay, so the first part is the plug and play aspect. Only goes one way, so just like that. Here we have our fiber optic connection, so that needs to come out of the original quad lock and go into the new one in the same spot. Okay, so this fiber optic connection just has a little tab. Open it up, pull it out, then you can go ahead, plug in the quad lock connector right there. So as you see here, this is really short. It's left us a bit of length here. What you can do, the way to combat that is you can follow this loom down and just very carefully cut the tape to release the fiber optic connection from the loom, and then it'll give you a bit more playroom. Okay, once you've done that, what you need to do is get the original quad lock connector and the plug and play part out of the way of the factory radio, and that's nice and easy because it just goes in and down, and there's a lot of room underneath there, so you can plug that in and it's fished its way down nice and easy. Then you've got your harness that goes up to the screen with all these cool connections on it. I'll just show you that there. And how that works is you've got, this will plug into either A or B, right? So it's currently plugged into A, coming off the quad lock. So we'll leave it in A, test it, and if it doesn't work, you've got B. So what you will do is unplug B and then plug your main harness into B. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. You've got two options basically. Okay, so now we can grab our main power harness, go behind the radio. Okay, now before we run it all the way up, let's look at some of these connections here. We've got this twisted pair here, which was for an external speaker, which I don't think we need, so we can tighten that up. Accessory input there we don't need. Camera 12 volts, so if you add a rear camera, you've got a 12 volt output. Camera detection, if you want to run reverse to it. And then you've got AUX and video inputs. Okay, so there's a rear camera input, another video and audio input right there. So if you had something else you wanted to run to it, you could. But pretty much all that stuff we don't need, so we can tape it up and then run this up to our screen. Alright, so up here we've got on the left side the GPS antenna, and I've just run it as to what the screen says. So the screen says that the left side, looking from the top, should be GPS and the right side 4G. So that means the GPS antenna is mounted just up here. There's plenty of room here. I don't need to show you guys. They both have double-sided on them. There's a massive bar right here. You can mount them both. Even the GPS antenna, from there you can get it up on top of one of these vents or even higher. You can stick it down, run that there, stick your antenna down, run it to the right side so you know which side each plug into. You've seen the powers that we've done. So what we'll do is plug this stuff in, start doing some basic testing. Alright guys, boom, as soon as we plugged it in, that sort of worked. But what I want to do is at least run it with ignition. Alright, so basically with this unit now plugged in, we need to turn this unit on, test all the factory features and test the screen, test the audio, make sure everything works, because we do remember we have those A and B plugs that may need to be switched. And yeah, see how that goes. You've got a whole bunch of settings here, and in factory settings you're going to go 1, 3, 1, 4. This is only for people who sort of, 1, enter at your own risk, 2, play with factory settings, and you can change all sort of vehicle settings, heaps of stuff. Okay, the car display. So if you, I'll leave the video in there where the display wasn't working. We were on the wrong, we're on an N2G4, so we needed to change that to a 4.7 and half screen. Okay, which is what we've done. But most of that stuff you can leave, and basically there it is. The A and B plug that we're talking about is this. So I'm using the, you can hear that, the factory controller right now. when I had it into plug B, the controller did not work. Okay, so that's all that is. Boom. Alright guys, there it is. Here we have navigation, music, telephone, NTG menu, bring us right back to the factory system, which we can use with the factory controls. And then you can either touch the screen or press and hold the back button on your little controller there, and that will bring you back to the Android system. Video, you can upload videos to it. You saw that there was an SD card. Yes, as I was saying, so you've got video, SD card you can put in there, that will work. Obviously it's going to read a bunch of files, MP3 files, MP4, all that sort of stuff. It's a full HD screen and it can play back full HD video. Phone link, so you can mirror your phone. Dashboard here, that's going to show you when the car's running, all that sort of stuff. It's showing you what doors are open now, things like that. If you want to go back, you can scroll down here, we can go back. Then you've got things like Wi-Fi. So this is where it gets interesting. You can go into Wi-Fi. You can pair your phone to it for a hotspot connection. Then you can go to your Android apps. There's a whole bunch of apps here. You got navigation, digital radios, your iPhone through Z-Link. You've got Google, there's YouTube and Netflix you can download. So that doesn't seem to be on here now, but we could literally go to Play Store, download YouTube, download Netflix, all crazy things you can do. And then, like I said, NTG brings you back to the NTG system. If you go into settings, you can really customize this thing. There's sound settings, language volume, like it's just endless options with these things, and it looks clean. It looks really nice. I'll get you another look at that now. Yeah. Okay, so that's how it looks in the car. You can see there's your steering wheel, there's your radio, and there's your new Android system. Guys, that is the install done. Very straightforward install, as you see, pretty much plug and play. Any little bits and pieces that we did need to play around with, we did. All the settings and stuff that I went through. If you have any questions about that stuff, just drop them in the comments below. If you can't tell, I did the intro and the outro here in my car because I forgot to do it when recording, so it feels really strange. But anyway, yeah, it was a really straightforward install. It's a great system. They're fast. They are so much better than the factory system. The screen, it just looks better in general. Yeah, that will be on the website, like I said. If you want to get in touch with me, links will all be in the description. Everything else in the description. Any questions, drop them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.